Aaron, let's start off with the last fight on a big stage out in Japan on the Matchroom Prizefighter. A dominant performance against Estella, who was undefeated, who was 14-0. Just talk to me from your perspective now. You've had time to look back on it. How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel brilliant. A very big performance for me and dominated the fight against a good operator as well. He was very game, another undefeated fighter. So that's what people always want to see: two young fighters, undefeated fighters, risking it all and fighting each other. And it was a great fight, and I'm very happy with my performance and can't wait for the next one.
Now, no disrespect to Estella, but it was dominant on your behalf. Did you think it would be as easier as one side as it was?
Yeah, well, I always have full belief in my ability, and I know the experience and strengths that I have. So I knew from the first bell to bring it straight to him that he hasn't fought anyone like me. I've been saying it all the way up to the lead up to the fight that my strength, my size, my experience is something that he's never ever came up against, and it showed on fight night. And people's only really start to see how good I really am. And over these next few fights in this tournament, people will really start to see even more that I'm not here to mess around.
Now, you fought and sparred all over the world, Aaron. What was it like to fight on the big stage in Japan? What was the atmosphere like? How was it different to other places?
Yeah, it was a very. It was. I thought it was brilliant. I enjoyed my time over there. I've been around a lot of places all over the world: Russia, Ukraine, America, and Mexico. And first time being in Japan, and I loved every second of it. The people over there are so friendly, and even the culture over there, it's cool. And already, I can't wait for the semi final and fighting over there again. And the Japanese really appreciated my fighting style. I think they really liked it because after the fight, a lot of the Japanese people there that were at the fight came up to me and wanted photos and that. So it was good to see all that.
Was this the platform that you've always needed for this breakout fight for your career?
I think so, yeah. And something so big like this, with a world audience like this, is being watched around the world, and it's on a big platform as well. So it's just exactly what I needed at this stage of my career. I'm 25 now. I'm pro a long time, and have 19 fights, 19-0. So this is just what I needed, and what better way to do it in a big middleweight tournament where the best want to fight the best, where winning every fight really gets a lot of eyes on you. And like I said a few weeks ago, I want to dominate in this tournament. I just don't want to win it. I want to really let people know that I'm here to take over the middleweight division.
Now, mention a good opportunity this tournament is for yourself in terms of platform, amount of people that see you fight and perform and see what you're really about. But obviously, it's a business, the financial gain's massive as well. And you managed to just sneak in a nice little knockout bonus or stoppage bonus as well there.
Yeah, that was nice. No better way to do it than a minute to go. I thought maybe it could have been done a few rounds earlier, but he was tough. He was game. He stayed in there to the very end. But I was just so happy to get it, and it's massive help for me in my career and in general. It's a lot of money to be taken home, and I think it's brilliant that it's in the tournament, them knockout bonuses, because you can see it makes the fights way more exciting, and each fighter's going in there to try and get rid of their opponent.
Well, you mentioned it could have happened a few rounds earlier. You seemed to hurt Estella a few times. I think especially around round 6 or 7. I thought this isn't going to last much longer when I was watching it myself. For yourself, how do you stay so composed in the ring to not go looking for it or to not get frustrated that it's not come yet?
I think it's just discipline, all the hard training over the years and what I've learned so far. You just gotta make sure you remain composed and don't get carried away. And that's what I did. I just kept disciplined and kept sticking to my boxing. And I felt very strong in the last round as I did in the first, so I didn't really feel any difference. But I knew it was getting closer and closer, and I finally did get it and left it close to the end.
Is that a underrated asset of yours, your engine, your output from round 1 to round 10 or 12 if needs be?
I think so, yeah. Not only have I got good boxing skills and strength, I think that's one of my biggest things, my fitness, my engine. Like I felt very, very strong going into the last round. I could have did another four, five, 6 rounds at that pace, I think. So that's what all this hard work, all the hard training, all the sacrifices throughout all the years has led to. And going over to America and getting the best quality sparring, I think it's all really showing now.
We've mentioned a few times the semi-final coming up. So the next round you've got Kieran Conway. It's a nice matchup for yourself. Kieran's obviously a well-known name over in the UK side of things, especially at domestic level. He's sort of been there and done it. Is he probably the best opponent for yourself in this tournament?
Not sure because I think Estella was a good opponent, but my style for Estella was all wrong. I think he would have did well against a lot of other fighters in the tournament, but out of everyone in that tournament, I was probably the one that the style didn't gel with him most. And I said it before the fight that it was unfortunate for him that he got the toughest draw. So it's hard to know who's the toughest, but yeah, looking forward to the semi final against Conway. A lot of eyes will be on this one, and I always intend to go for the knockout, and that's what I'll be aiming for in the semi final.
With Conway being British and obviously fighting on these matchroom shows for a long, long time, I'm sure you've probably seen more of Conway than anyone else in the tournament over the last few years. What do you make of Kieran Conway? What are his pros and cons?
Yeah, he's a good fighter with a good record, but I think again my style's all wrong for him. My work rate and engine will really be dominant in this fight, and my boxing skills as well. So I don't only have the good work rate and aggressive style. My boxing skills are very good too. So whatever I decide to use on the night, I think will work either way. But I'll be going for the knockout as always.
Can you take much away from Conway's performance in Japan, or again, was it a case of because his opponent wasn't to the same level as, or standard as yourself that you can't really take too much away?
Yeah, I didn't really see any of the fight because I was fighting after him. But you can't really go by anything because once he's fighting me, it's a style that he hasn't really seen in his career. So it's a totally new style for him to see.
And we mentioned earlier world-class sparring. On our last interview, we spoke about your sparring, Terence Crawford. He fights in a couple of weeks' time against Madrimov. It on paper looks like a very good fight, a tough test for Crawford. Just talk to me from your opinion how you think that fight's going to go.
I think Crawford will win it convincingly enough. A lot of people reckon that with the move up in weight, how will he hold up with the strength? But Crawford's a very good, skillful fighter. Definitely the best person I've ever sparred, and I think his boxing skills will definitely show on fight night. And even for this training camp, like he spars super middleweights. That's who he has in his camp, 168 pounders, and I was sparring with them as well. So he's getting sparring partners that's 2 divisions above him. So I don't think the strength's gonna really matter too much in this fight, and I can see a late stoppage.
Do you think as well with Crawford's boxing IQ and his boxing brain, that will also help with anything that he may lose in terms of size difference, even though there's not doesn't seem on the surface much difference in size?
Yeah, naturally he's big enough and he's very strong. So even if the power or if he isn't as strong as his opponent, I still think his boxing skills will definitely take over. Like he has one of the best IQs in boxing ever from what I can see, and I definitely do think he will beat your man easy enough.
And just finally, Aaron, I want to speak about some news that has dropped today. Mike Coppinger reported that Canelo Alvarez will face Berlanga in September in Las Vegas. Just talking about that matchup and how you see that one. Do you think their styles gel well? Is it some people feel it's a walkover for Canelo? It's going to be fairly easy for him. What do you think?
I think that's a easy fight for Canelo. It might be competitive for the first 2, 3 rounds, but after 4 rounds, I think Canelo will walk him down and then stop him. But that's an easy win for Canelo.
And if it happens in the future that they're talking about Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez, after sparring Crawford, do you think Crawford can beat Canelo?
I think so, definitely. Yeah. the main issue there would be the size. 168's even another two weights up, so that's what it would all come down to, I think. But boxing skills wise, if he can hold off Canelo's strength, I definitely could see him outboxing him, and we've seen in the past where Canelo was getting outboxed by a few fighters, so it definitely would be an interesting fight.
Absolutely. Well, Aaron, I want to thank you for your time. Congratulations again on your last win, and we look forward to the semi-finals as well.
All right, thanks very much, James. Thank you.